Hi, my name is Matthias Knopp, and I'm here for the serviceofsong.com, and I want to give you some practical tips on being comfortable as you lead music or as you lead singing or conduct a choir. It's important that you're comfortable. You know, I think the typical tendency for a young beginner or a new learner is to be very fearful, to be very nervous, and there's no fear in faith, so may God help us. You know, it's been said that the fear of God will eliminate all lesser fears, and that's true. And one of those lesser fears I found is that as you go up and you stand before a group of people, there are some little things that maybe have been left undone, and you can go up with the best of intentions, but these little things can hinder you, they can slow you down, they can mess you up, and cause you to be fearful. So may God help us to avoid those types of things. Here are three very big issues for me in this area of being comfortable as you lead singing. Number one is your clothing. Be comfortable in your clothing. Choose clothing that is comfortable for you to wear as you lead singing. I never wear short sleeve shirts. That's something that is uncomfortable for me. And so I make sure that whenever I lead singing, even if it's for a Saturday soul winning meeting or for whatever, you know, I like to have on a long sleeve shirt as I lift my arms and wave them all about. It's comfortable for me. I wear a suit coat when I conduct, so I make sure that my suit coat's not too big on me. I don't want it hanging on me because I'll get tangled up in the thing, but I don't want it too tight that it would hinder my arms from moving. So it's very important that you're comfortable in the type of clothing that you wear. So, you know, if I go shopping for a suit for church or for clothing that I know I'm going to wind up leading music in, a lot of times I'll put it on and there in the changing room, I'll make sure that I'm comfortable in the thing and that I have a good, free motion going there and I'm not hindered or hampered by my clothing. So be comfortable in your clothing. Number two, be comfortable in your range of movement. And this is just good for the beginners because I think as you go on, you will get comfortable with your range of movement. But for me, I typically never go much higher than my head, and I typically don't go much lower than my waistline. Most people will tell you shoulder height, that's fine. I'm comfortable going a little bit higher, and I enjoy going a little bit higher, especially when I'm conducting you know, an auditorium or congregation full of people. You know, I want to have as big a movement as I can, but I try not to get too low. And I'm giving you vertical points here, and I'll discuss why, not horizontal, but verticality is important when you're leading singing, and I'll explain that why probably in the next video that I do. But it's important that your vertical points are established and settled, and you're not up there wondering, well, how high, how low should I go? And you know, a lot of times if you're too low, your hands get lost, and you don't want that to happen. So that brings me kind of into my third point with the podium. Be comfortable with your podium, or the pulpit height. You know, our pulpit here at the Stowe Falls Baptist Church is the right height for our pastor and for others. That's good. That's how it ought to be. He spends the majority of the time in there, but for me, it's much too high. If I'm not careful, I'll wind up smacking my hands on the thing and damaging my fingers. So you need to be careful that you're aware. You need to be aware of the pulpit height, and you know, typically I have to adjust my range of movement if the pulpit's too high. And most pulpits, for me, I'm a short man, most pulpits are too high on me, and that's fine. But I just have to be aware. I have to take a step back, or I have to change my range of movement and make it work for me and be comfortable. Now I have, for our choir, praise the Lord, an adjustable podium, but I share this at times with another fella, and he's much taller than I am, so sometimes I come up to it, and it doesn't happen often, but it's way up here, and so I have to push it back down and get it at a comfortable height for me. I'm comfortable with a low podium. I like to be able to see all of my singers, see my instrumentalists. I enjoy that. I need it, and I like to be able to move my hands freely. So that's important. Understand and just prepare that your podium is the right height. That's a big deal. So there's three little things that I think can help you. Be comfortable in your clothing, be comfortable in your range of movement, and be comfortable with the podium or the pulpit height. Be comfortable with those. So there's three very practical things that I think will help you if you take them into consideration.